My name is Fraser.
My name is Mark.
And we are the hosts of the geekiest show alive. To the outside world, we're ordinary geeks.
But in the Fab International Studios, we talk comics and find other geeks just like us. This is Geek of the Week.
I need photos of Spider-Man!
So, you know with the sounds of J. Jonah Jameson, it's time for the news. And you know what? We got a bit more than photos of Spider-Man. We got a load of photos and 2 trailers of Spider-Man this week. We're going to start it off, start the hype going. We had a Far From Home trailer. I'm so excited. I'm hyped. But I'm going to let Mark start off.
I'm not sure about the Europe thing. It seems a bit of a cliche. American goes to Europe and has a amazing holiday with the European people. No, it does look fun, but are they going to do Europe well? If they go to London, will it be a stereotype? I'm just a little bit concerned of Americans doing Europe. That's all.
Wow, that sounded very non-PC, not safe word.
American stuff.
Yeah, but you have to remember,
often gets
it's
Europe
like,
wrong, and I'm European.
It's Disney. They go to Europe all the time, like they film all the time in the UK and stuff like that. And he's far from home.
Yes, I know.
Do you get it? Because he was in and stuff like that. And I mean, the title's not great. Let's be honest. But
I thought it was going to be a reference to him being in space, not Venice.
It's kind of cool that he's going all over Europe, and he's just like, nice little field trip, and he's going away from his friendly neighbourhood, so he's like, I don't really need to be Spider-Man. But then he finds out that he does need to be Spider-Man, and it's like, oh damn.
It's interesting because we've not had any reference to any superheroes in the MCU really that is outside of Europe. We haven't got a Captain Britain there yet. We haven't got any kind of like French superhero, and that's always been a problem in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, so it's all focused around in New York, and he is a New York hero. But it's interesting that we're going out of there. I mean, outright. You sort of put a fizzle on my hype, so I'm gonna go on my hype. So I really liked. I'm gonna run through the trailer just because in my head, that way I won't miss anything out. I really liked the Hogan and Aunt May stuff.
Yes.
Like little play thing. I was like, oh no. And just Peter's just walking going, wait, what's happening here? And it's like, I mean, it's gone from Tony to Hogan, so Tony's actually married, so this could actually happen, and a romance between them two would be funny. But the romance I'm really hyped about is the MJ stuff, which was super cute. I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, you look really pretty. He's like, oh, do I have value now? Like, she's got the sass, and
there's some gentle humour in it as well, exactly. Where she's so much better at it all than he is, Yeah,
exactly. And I'm getting more and more okay with the fact that they're calling her MJ, but she's not Mary Jane, she's Michelle Jones. She's not Michelle Jones Michelle Jones Watson. Well, she definitely won't be Parker yet. Jesus, they're only like 15 or whatever.
I think he's probably 16 by now.
Yeah. But like, that's the one thing that irks me from Homecoming was like, they said, oh, but my friends call me MJ. And it's like, MJ is not her full name though. Her name is not Mary Jane. She has a last name. Mary Jane is the first name, and it's like, and then in my head I was like, oh, because there's this character Spider-Man falls for called Michelle Gonzalez, and I was like, oh, she's just Michelle Gonzalez, but they changed Gonzalez to Jones, and in my head I was pointing at that. And then I was like, nah, she's MJ. She's getting the MJ vibes and stuff like that.
Doesn't need to be perfect to the comics.
No, but just get the name right. Like, I love the character, and she's a perfect representation of Mary Jane Watson. But she's not Mary Jane Watson, she's Michelle Jones, no Watson.
A rose by any other name would still smell sweet, Fraser.
Agree to disagree.
The, Nick Fury. As much as I was like, it's Nick Fury, I do feel like it's a spoiler for Endgame. I don't think we're going to... I think it's almost confirmed that Tony is gone, and obviously... obviously Nick Fury's going to come back from being...
Well, no, this is a speculation that arises. I was going to mention this actually later on, but now I can take it off my little list. There is no Tony. It could just be a thing of like, this isn't Iron Man's story anymore. It's like he's getting a new mentor or something like that. It could be Tony's giving it up, he's got a baby or whatever. But there's some speculation, like, if it's after Endgame, which Amy Pascal said it is, but you can trust her about as much as you can trust something untrustworthy. Tony. Scorpions, there you go. She's about as trustworthy as a scorpion.
The animal, not the band. I don't know the band personally.
Yeah, or the Spider-Man supervillain. He's quite untrustworthy.
Yeah, he's pretty
Won't really
untrustworthy.
go with him. But basically, the rumours are that either this is there's one that's like this is happening in the Soul Stone. There's one that's that with the time travel element in Endgame, they either stop the snapping from happening.
The what?
The snapping.
Snapping.
It's like this. It's called the Snapture. There's loads of different names for it, but I like the snapping. It's pretty funny. But the rumours for Endgame is that they either stop that so everyone's living their normal life, or that they manage to bring everyone back. But I feel like everyone in this trailer is living life a bit too normal if they did.
It is quite normal.
You know, if they realise that they've been snapped, so it leads more to that maybe in Endgame they just stop the snap from happening. Which, you know, it's still, there's just, again, speculation for Endgame. You could say maybe spoilers. But also, I kind of want this is my running theory, and it could be, could not be true, that this happens just before Infinity War, and then they get back on the busway, and it's like, oh, Ned, do a distraction.
Or it could be a massive troll, and Iron Man's in it, he just wasn't put in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, there is that as well, and you can literally just be on speed dial, like, yo, what's up, bud? Or like Hogan can say something about Tony and stuff like that. There is a big check that that says like Pepper Potts is now in charge of Stark Industries, I think. Okay. But again, that could just be he just passed it on to her. One thing that was super cool, so in his little suitcase, he decides not to pack the Spider-Man suit. And yeah, there was 2 trailers, but the only big difference was that there was one where he went into customs, opened up his suitcase, and his spider suit was there, and he was like, and like, oh, you can't have that on board. And he's like, what? And it was just like a banana or something, which was pretty funny. But
I think that's the one I didn't see. I only watched one trailer.
Yeah, most people saw the other one, I think, and that's the one that had the most interesting stuff in. They were very similar, to the 2 trailers. Don't like threaten and go out and say, I have to see both. It's not that much of a big deal. But the suitcase is Uncle Ben's suitcase, which is really cool.
Okay, that is cool.
Yeah, which was dope. And another little cool Easter egg was, so on his passport, they haven't put a year... Right, Sony have learnt their lesson, because they messed up the MCU timeline when they put 8 years later in Homecoming. So they haven't put a date of birth on for him yet. They haven't put a year on. But the date is, I believe, the 10th of August, which is the day Amazing Fantasy 15 came out in 1962.
Okay, that's a nice little cheeky
reference.
Like, yeah, I like that.
Now, villains-wise, everyone's like, oh, Mysterio's going to do that. Like, yeah, I mean, he could still be the villain. It could be like a little deception there. But we've got elementals, and apparently it's elementals in different European cities. So it's like, what, the Hydro Man, and you know...
Yeah, I thought it was Hydro Man.
Yeah, what did you think of the elementals? Is like
it looks good, but I'll tell you what, Mysterio, I'm hyped.
Oh my goodness.
He looks
Yeah.
ace. And I was pleased to see Hydro Man, because I wasn't expecting him. But... my goodness.
They've gone for unconventional villains, I think, for it, for these films, in my opinion, anyway. Like, Vulture, like, yeah, he's a big villain, but, like, for the mainstream, it's sort of like, oh, okay. And then with the Elementals, it's, like, a bit bizarre, but then, yeah, they went all out on Mysterio, and he looks dope. Jake Gyllenhaal, when he rocks up, he looks very much like, I know they said when they looked, it was like, oh, it's like Thor and Iron Man or whatever, but he actually looked more like Doctor Strange, especially with his magic and stuff like that. It looked really cool.
And there was that very brief shot of the helmet.
And then we saw his fishbowl, and I was like, yes, he's got the fishbowl.
He's got to have the fishbowl.
This is awesome.
And it didn't look hokey, which it really could have done.
Well, that's the thing.
Excited.
We said it a couple of weeks ago. Mysterio's either, in the comics, he's really either hokey and like sometimes he'll do actual magic, sometimes he'll do like, oh, Hollywood misdirects and stuff. He's either really hokey or really badass, and this feels more on the badass kind of side.
I'll be interested to see what his powers are. Is he like Doctor Strange? Is he a sorcerer, or is he something else, or is he a combination of that and something else?
Does seem like a sorcerer, and they mentioned in the Doctor Strange film that there's a load of sorcerers about, so it could, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, and you know, Baron Mordo's like too many damn sorcerers and all that, you know. So
it's interesting, isn't it?
He could be one of them, too many of him. Or we got to see. I was. Oh, speaking of, actually, we'll go on to that point because it segues a bit more. the when they're talking, all the school kids, like Peter's classmates, are all talking and stuff like that, and it reveals that Flash is a super fanboy of Spidey, and I really love that because that's one of my favourite things in the comics is Flash absolutely loves Spider-Man, but is always bullying Peter, and they did it perfect in this trailer. It was like,
they used
Spider-Man,
a very rude word.
Spider-Man's
for a PG film.
Spider-Man's awesome, and then and then Peter's just looking at him and goes, "What's up?" and then
Says a rude word.
Yeah, and you're just like, "Oh, that's the perfect," and it's a great way to end it as well. I'm really liking the high school dynamic in these films.
I think I want Spider-Man to be a bit more light-hearted after Endgame, because Endgame is gonna my everything is gonna end, and I'm just gonna sit there and melt in the cinema.
Avengers films and all those like big MCU films, I feel like that's when he's big boy Spider-Man, like stepping up, big responsibility, and these are like the fun, more light-hearted, like we were talking about last week with in the comics.
We'll see.
These are the Amazing Spider-Man, and then the films are more like friendly neighborhood. And also we got to see, speaking of suits, he decided not to pack one, but he got 2 extra ones, which were dope. The little, like, it got wings, he was like doing that, and I was like, this is epic, nice little white logo on the back, reminded me of the PS4 suit, and then the stealth suit as well. I was like, it's dope.
Yeah. My cynicism about Americans doing Europe badly aside, it's a great trailer, and I'm very excited for
They're
the
just
film.
going to be on a tour. They're not going to be some offensive person from London going, "Oh, hello.
We'll see.
You've come to meet the Queen, have you?" Or something like
We'll
that.
see.
And also, you have to remember, Tom Holland's from London, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, yeah, frame of reference, we don't speak like Fingy from Parent Trap, Lindsay Lohan. Awful that, awful. I've got to pay a British person. So, my goodness. I actually watched that. I watched that at a summer camp, and it was hilarious, because obviously they go into the summer camp, and some of the British staff went to the American kids, was like, that is what you sound like when you try and do an impression of us, and some of them went, "We're so sorry."
There we go.
There you go, innit? Now, speaking of other Marvel trailers, there was a Punisher Season 2 trailer. Speaking of Spider-Man villains that turn heroes, like Mysterio did. I'm getting all the segues in here, mate. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, so Punisher Season 2, what did you think of it, mate?
I've said it before that the Punisher is... I loved it, and I love... Oh, what's his name? The guy who plays him.
John Berthel.
John Berthel. I love him as the Punisher. He is just so perfect. His voice, just everything about him is brilliant as the Punisher. He is, again, it just looks fantastic. Gritty, dark, and unafraid of blood and guts. Damn, it looks wonderful. And it's stylized. I love the outfit. And I almost... the only thing that I was like, I winced at the humour at the end. And that's like, do I really need my Punisher to be 100% dark? Or can they put like 1% lol? Yeah. But that, I was like, it almost felt wrong that there was even just a tiny moment of lol in
like, how dare you laugh?
horrible, horrible world that is the Punisher on Netflix. Loved it. Excited. Yeah. Can't wait.
Oh no, I was super hyped for it. Again, I was like, oh, it's not my Season 2 pitch where it's just hit Frank Castle going into the offices of Netflix and going, return the other shows. But I did, I really enjoyed it. The one thing that got me, like, literally everything you said, feelings mutual, mate. It was epic, and it was like, again, the dark, gritty stuff we got in Season 1. Only thing that disappointed me slightly, and a lot of people have harkened onto this, and the actor himself has sort of gone on record and talked back about it, was I felt Jigsaw was less messed up in the face. I feel like he just had a little bit of a scar. You know, like in... It felt like a Kylo Ren situation where he had a lightsaber to his face where he got a little scar. Like, this guy, the whole big thing of the last episode of the season was like he's getting his head ripped on. They make such a thing about him being such a pretty boy. He's just got a few scars. I'm like, mate, no, you were like torn to pieces.
He's still kind of pretty as well.
Exactly, like... And I was like, and then he started wearing a mask. I was like, it's alright. But he was saying...
Didn't think about that, but you're right.
Yeah, he was saying stuff like, oh, well, cosmetic surgery now is much better than it would have been in the comics, and being accurate to life is more important than accurate to comic. I was like, shut up, mate. Just mess your face up more.
I'm kind of with that, actually.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing that got me, because that was my hype, was like, at the end I was like, oh, I really want to see Jigsaw now, like, messed up face, and...
I think they'd be criticised either way. They'd either be saying it's not realistic because there's cosmetic surgery out there, or he's supposed to have a worse face. It was a no-win situation.
But I'd rather go for the comic thing, really.
You see, I'm not sure I would.
That's the
particularly with this series. I'm not sure I would.
No. It didn't have to be like super comic book. Just like more than like 2 or 3 scars, like actually have, or even just have him wear a mask the whole time, and then at the end you do one big reveal where because the one big reveal at the end can either be it's all in his head and it's a Doctor Doom situation where he's got a little scar, but he's like, or like Phantom of the Opera if you're a classic person, and he's like, oh no, it's all in my head, oh no, I'm so hideous, and it's literally just a few scars, which would be epic. Or if he does reveal it and it's a horrible thing. Like, if you just had a mask going for the full thing.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty hyped.
And I'm down for it. Now, speaking of Netflix UK, we finally got Titans, and that was dark.
Mate.
It was as dark as the Netflix. In my opinion, it felt like they went for the Netflix Marvel vibes.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Here's the thing, right? I was like, ugh, DC, ugh, Titans. And I watched the first one to humour you, and because I present this show. I watched the second one because the first one wasn't half bad. And then I binged the next 9 episodes. I've only got 2 episodes left. It's been up like a couple of days. And I have been blown away. Absolutely blown. I'm genuinely... DC got something right. I can stand here, sit here, on record and say, I think DC got something right. And how often do you get me saying that?
Oh, mate, no, I'll see. I'm always on the DC hype train. I feel like they do a lot of stuff quite well, and it always hurts me when we get stuff like Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh, please, it hurts. Like I thought Justice League was alright. Didn't mind it. Could have been a bit longer. But this, oh my. So we say it's got this dark vibes and stuff like that, and I'm used to I grew up with Titans. Like I watched the Teen Titans TV show growing up.
Swear words, Fraser.
I know.
They said rude words.
The first
time they swore, I was like,
hello. And
because even the Marvel shows don't really.
I had to get used to that dark tone because I was so used to like the Starfire and the Robin I've seen like growing up and in this team, and then Dick Grayson's being very, very violent, and I was like, at first I was like, oh man, no, this isn't Dick Grayson. This is more Jason Todd with the violence.
He's mentally scarred.
Yeah, but I loved because the first couple of episodes I really wasn't digging it, and I wasn't digging Starfire.
Really?
Yeah, because I just wasn't digging the portrayal of Dick Grayson because he's always been the cool-headed person, and I liked the story they were doing with him. There was like, he is this cool-headed person, but Batman has turned him into this, and he's realised that he's done this, but he can't escape it. And I was like, so the more and more that I kept watching because I wanted to like it, and then me wanting to like it made me like it.
Now this is interesting because I went in with a more fresher outlook, and that didn't bother me at all. It made perfect sense that he was scarred because he'd been robbing for so long, and he tried to get away from all that by becoming a police officer. And he couldn't because he was genuinely messed up in their head.
I love the stuff as well when they were talking about, there was something wrong with his partner. And it was like, that's Batman! Way! And then it was like, way. But then, they go full on for the Batman and and the whole Justice League with Wonder Woman, like Donna Troy and stuff like that. That was really cool. The one thing that really turned me was the episode with Jason Todd.
I really like that.
On the Dick Grayson portrayal, because they did show that Jason Todd is way more Jason Todd than Dick Grayson was. So I was like,
the two Robins are brilliant.
In this world, Dick's a bit scarred, but Jason's way more foregone.
The two Robin stuff. Yeah, the two Robin stuff was brilliant. Yeah. It's the fact that whoever you are, being Robin will mess you. And I really, really liked it.
Yeah, they've been portraying Batman as a villain in this. I'm really excited because I'm on the last episode where Batman is the big bad.
I think I'm one behind you. I've just finished the episode where there was a cliffhanger with a Starfire, and then there was a complete episode on Hawk and Dove. Yeah. So I've just watched the Hawk and Dove episode. I've got 2 left.
Oh, the Hawk and Dove stuff was good.
I love the Hawk and Dove stuff.
Yeah.
Like real kind of like I'd heard of Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
And I like how they're just. They don't really have any superpowers. They're just people who put on a suit and fight because they believe it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like real ground level superhero stuff. Yeah. And compared to someone like Starfire, who's got all of the power.
Well, that's
unless it's dark.
unless it's dark. The thing with Starfire as well, I couldn't get at first. I couldn't get behind because I didn't get the vibe that she was an alien. I was like, it's Starfire again in the in the Titans books and in Teen Titans TV show. She was all like happy-go-lucky. She was like, she had a whole episode where everyone was moody. It was like, it's International Friendship Day, so I was like, okay. But then I got more and more. The more and more I watched, I got into this like sassy, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mess stuff up. Like she reminded me of Jessica Jones if we're relating it to Netflix Marvel in that sort of way. And then when she started unleashing her powers, that's when I was like, okay, I'm getting behind it. And the more we got to learn, like, because she can't remember her memories or her past life, the more and more she got to remember that, the more and more I dug that. So I think it was.
Surely the point though
is a burner for me.
For me, I didn't know she was an alien because I've not read that much Titans.
Well, yeah.
And for me, the reveal of the fact that she's an alien was cool. And surely the whole point is that you're supposed to think she's human until otherwise, right? And I like that. I think that works for me. It's different perspectives, different people coming in from different angles. And they've got to please everybody in some way.
Yeah, partly. And I did like Beast Boy as well.
Yes.
She was green a bit more, but the one thing that irked me, Raven was... no, we'll talk about Raven later. The one thing that irked me about all these is it was very obvious that the hair was, like, dyed. Like, I get the whole thing, it was supposed to... Like, the story is that it turns that way. But if you're going to do that, do the roots, man. Literally, there were some times where they were all the hair colour, what they've got to be or whatever. Like, Beast Boy was green, Raven was purple, and Starfire was like that reddy type thing. But then there was moments where you could see the black hair coming out, and I was like, who's your hairdresser here?
Isn't that normal? Isn't it supposed to make it look a little bit more realistic because people's roots grow out?
No, but the thing is that
if you're on a road trip...
No, but their powers have turned their colour. They don't dye their hair. They don't... Beast Boy don't go, well, I turn green when I'm an animal, so I may as well dye my hair green. The thing is that transition's supposed to turn his hair. He's supposed to be naturally green. She's supposed to be... That's what I'm saying. She's supposed to be naturally purple. Well, to be fair, Raven less so, because in the well, to be fair, in the comics most of the time she's got the hood, but in the show as well, in the Teen Titans show, she does have black and purple, so I was less hurt with that. But yeah, there's just the roots on Beast Boy. Sometimes I was like, come on, man. I did like the interpretation of Beast Boy, and I liked that we got to meet Doom Patrol through that. Doom Patrol was a real...
Looking forward to Doom Patrol when that
was a real turning point
out.
For me. I was like, yeah, this is class. And Brendan Fraser as well. I was like, oh, hey. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm like super down for that, and can't wait for their series. And
very.
It was a great little introduction into it because it was just a small thing. We got to see Beast Boy, and then we got to see Beast Boy taken away from that, so it was natural. It didn't feel forced. It was epic, and
looking forward to that as well.
I feel like the big thing is like the story of Raven and sort of like everyone being after her. Raven's character, some dialogue aside, was a bit. I thought was enjoyable, like her journey to discover who she is as a hero. And the thing was, everyone had their own sort of journey and everyone had their own story, and they all sort of complemented one another in the whole thing. Like, it wasn't too distracting. One like, okay, this is a Starfire episode, this is a Robin episode.
Yeah,
they
this
all
is a Hawk and Dove episode. What?
Yeah, this all sort of all work together. And the one thing that's great about Titans is, in my opinion, is they all offer a different type of story. Like Starfire offers an alien type story, Robin like a Batman detective story, Raven is like a dark, mystical sort of like demon type story.
Yeah.
Beast Boy's got,
he's a mutant.
Mutant basically, but they all offer, like, if you read them in the comics, watch them on TV, they're talking about a film. I would look like seeing this in a smaller budget. If they had the bigger budget to make Beast Boy green all the time and give Starfire and Raven all these mythical powers and a dope Nightwing suit, I'd be so down with that. But
interesting.
Yeah, they managed to, like, that's what I mean. Like, there's a story, which is why I love the Titans, because there's this, like, each story is different, and you get it all in just one book or one series. You don't
this got me. I didn't think it would. I thought it was gonna. I thought it was gonna come in and give you a hard time, but it got me.
Yeah,
it got me good.
Yeah, boy. Now the news is basically done, but we just wanted to mention one last thing. Just literally just a recognition of how cool it was. So on The Simpsons this week, there was a cool little couch gag involving Thanos. So they had the music from Infinity War. Thanos comes, The Simpsons do their regular thing, go onto the sofa, puts the ring in, does the snap, they all fade to dust apart from Maggie.
I was like, oh no.
It was just...
And then Maggie didn't give a monkeys and just sat
No.
next to Thanos.
And then...
That's so dark.
And then Thanos just like got a binky out of his glove and gave it to her. I was like, that was brilliant. The Russo's brothers shared it as well, and it's so cool. It's just so
Maggie's
funny.
nonchalance. That's nearly as heartbreaking as Rocket's grief.
Exactly, yeah. So that's the news for this week. We're interested to hear your guys' opinions as well. We've got a Facebook group, we've got a Twitter. There's many ways to reach us. On YouTube, there's comments below. Let us know what you think. What did you think of the trailers we saw? What did you think of Titans? Where are you up to? Did you watch it not so legally and you've already seen it all? Or are you a super binger? Or are you a bit of a slow burner binger and you've only watched the first couple of episodes? Not sure what to do with it. Might carry it on, might not. I'd say carry it on. Even if you're not too sure on it, yeah, I would. But yeah, that's the news.
To listen to Geek of the Week, be sure to tune in next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at GOTW Radio on Twitter. Search for Geek of the Week Radio Show on Facebook. And to listen again, it's www.mixcloud.com/Geek of the Week Radio Show.